It's another K-Town beat.
YouTube, it's your boy, Mr. Outliner. I'm back with a nice little haircut. We doing the taper. Now, what I was just pointing at right there, you see the light spots on the head. Now, this is a female. This is not a male, this is a female. So, normally, on females' hair, they thin on the sides, right where the taper goes. If you see a lot of females get a low cut like this, a lot of times they get a taper or they get like a drop fade because the hair is, thin in those areas. Also, the cowlick was a little difficult. You have to comb it out so you can see it. And also, her hair curls up in the front. You see this right here, what I'm picking up? It curls up in the front. So that's an issue when we getting ready to do the lineup. But I'm gonna show you how to get past all of these things, right? So what the type of taper that we have to do on this haircut, we don't have to, but a good taper for her would be a high taper. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my Gamma one hitters. These trimmers are nice. You have to set the blade right? And somebody asked me how to set the blade. I did it normal, like I always do all my blades, but somebody was saying they never saw it without like a adjustment made to them. I forgot what you call that, but they been I forgot the name, but anyway, so on a high taper, we want to bring it up above the ear, above the eyebrow when we making our first guideline, right? So when making our first guideline, we come across, we use right above the eyebrow, right above the ear for our points of reference, right? These are our points of reference. So we know to do that on both sides. Now, once we do that, we know that the taper should come out even. Now, on the back, we want to bring it up to the bottom of the ear. You see where my comb is? All the way across. This is where you want to start the bottom guideline. You could do it higher, you could do it lower. This is where I choose to start it at. So you see how it's going. We want to make everything symmetrical as possible when doing this. And, you want to get a clean look, consistent look. All this plays a part. Now, you see this cowlick, you see how it was, it looked like the way she comb it or brush it, it leaves it where it has gaps in it. We want to comb it out. I like to use a comb first because it'll tell me if it's anything on the scalp. When you're using the brush, you can't feel if anything is on the scalp. So using a comb helps you to understand if there's things on the scalp you need to be aware of. Now here I take my 2-guard using these Rebels. These Rebels are the truth. Don't sleep on these clippers, man. Similar to Magic Clip, but a little bit more power. It's smoother. It's definitely quieter, right? So if you check out my last 3 or 4 videos, this is all I've really been using. And the power, I use them all day. So I'm not like recharging. Now, this will stop you from having to buy 2 sets of clippers, right? And they still got a good price. Also, I got a code that you can use, Mr. Outliner, if you buying these clippers or any other clippers from Gamma or Stylecraft, and you can save 10%. Just punch in my code, but I'll leave it in the description. So you use the 2-guard all the way around. And what I did right here is I didn't bring it all the way up to the front of the lineup. I left it kind of thick so I can come back and show you how we do that so we can prep it to where we don't go over any cowlicks in the front. Now, as you can see right here in the front, like I said earlier, her hair curls up in the front, we want to use our big guard. We're using the 2. We opened it, and we want to come across the front very slowly. We want to see how her hair reacts to the guard that we're using. If we use this guard and everything goes out smooth and cool, then we know we can go down lower, or we can adjust our guard to close to get the hair to lay down in the front. Whatever we have to do to get the hair to lay down in the front, you can go against the grain with a big guard also to get the hair to lay down. But I go with the grain first so I can see what's going on. Now, once we get done with that, we got everything to the length that we need. We start the taper fade at this point. Now, I want to bring it up high, an inch, maybe 1.25 inches, something like that, right? But I want to start smoothing out any bulk around that area. I want that area to be nice and smooth. And I want to use this guard that we used on top. We used the 2 on top. We're using the same thing on the side. And we're going to go open to close, right? And we're going to work that entire area on this side and on the other side. We do the exact same thing. So you can use this one guard on both sides and the back before you really can have to put it down. If you want to, it's going to help you speed up your haircuts. It's gonna help you cut faster, right? So look, I'm dropping the jewels on y'all today, you know what I mean? So taking the time out to really explain this so you can get a good understanding of what it takes to create a good high taper fade, right? And you see how many strokes I'm doing. I'm cutting and combing until I feel like it's smooth, right? So we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Now, after we use our 2 guard, I'm not using the 1.5 guard on this haircut. I'm gonna use the 2 and I'm gonna use the 1 guard. This is a 0 guard on the Rebels, but if you're using like Wahl clippers or any other clipper, it's considered a 1 guard. For me, it is, right? So I'm gonna use that and I'm gonna remove that bottom guideline. I'm gonna come up about half the way that I came up the first time, right? So I'm really just trying to stay on the bottom. I'm trying to work a little bit above the line and right at the line. I just want to clean that up. I want to get that really smooth to match the top, right? So you see me, I'm still using both hands. I'm combing the hair down and I'm knocking it off. Now on this side, I will just use the 1 guard on this side and then take my 1 guard off and just use my adjustable with no guard on from open to close. The same process, right? We're gonna do that on the other side also. So this is a system, right, that you can use. This is what I do with a lot of my haircuts, and building a system creates speed for you, right? It creates consistency and things like that. So once I get it down, right, I can either take it off and use no guard, or I can flip it over and do the same thing on this side. Now, once we're done with that, like I said, we're gonna come back. We're not gonna use a guard at all. We're just gonna use our adjustable open. We're gonna open and we're just gonna work the bottom line now, right? The bottom line, maybe just a tad bit above it. Also, what we do here, we use the corner of the blade to remove that line. Remember, we're going open to close here, right? And it may take you a number of strokes in order to get it the way that you want it, but that's okay. You're getting exactly what you want, right? You're getting exactly what you want, right? So look, I'm taking my time. I don't care how long it's gonna take me to get that line out, but I gotta get that line out, right? And again, remember, you have to use the corner of the blade while doing this. As you can see, the line is slowly but surely going away. And once you get it all the way down from open to close, and you feel like that's it, that's as far as you can go with it, then you come back with the tool that you created the guideline with and use that tool to remove the guideline, right? You see this? So I feel like it's pretty clean. To the untrained eye, it may be already done. To me, I can see little bits and pieces. You know, this is what makes you a professional, and this is what gets you the extra money that you want to charge. The detail work, you know, being able to make the haircut look cleaner, sharper, right? So on this side, we do the exact same thing. Not too much different on the back. We do the exact same thing. So here I'm gonna speed it up, but you follow the same steps that you did on both sides. You do it to the back also. Now, once we get our Mr. Outliner Detailing Mist sprayed onto the hair, the next thing we want to do is start the vertical bars, right? You can do the vertical bars first and make it easier for you to line up across. You don't want to push the vertical bars back too far, especially on a woman, because their hair grows so far inside. You have to push it back a little bit, but be careful with it when you do. You could tell the last person may have pushed her back a little too far, right? For me, anyway, to what I do and how I do it. Now, after you get the vertical bars down, you want to look at the lineup and see how you want to start it, right? We got our vertical bars, they're pretty much cool. We like it so far. Anything that you need to fix, you can come back and fix it at the end. I don't like to get stuck on one area, right? I like to, keep it moving. I like to keep it consistent, right? You get stuck in one area, sometimes you end up making it worse. So it's good to, stick and move, stick and move, stick and move. I do that, right? So I started from the middle of the lineup and try to work my way over to either side to the vertical bar to the corner, right? I want to try to get my corner short. I want the two lines to meet in the corner to be sharp as possible, right? Without compromising the hairline, right? So that's what we're doing right there. So we're moving it across for that. So take your time, do the lineup, work it from the middle to the sides, and you should get a good even line. Now, once we get the natural line the way we want it, this is her natural lineup, no enhancements on it at this point. This is what I did. She doesn't necessarily need it, but if you want to get that extra money, you want to make your pictures look better, video look better, whatever it is, you want to use some enhancements to make it pop, right? So I'm using some color here. You can use Kiss, anything that says semi-permanent, right? That's what you want to use, something that says semi-permanent. Hit her with the semi-permanent on the same line that I created with my trimmers. This is nothing, I'm not creating an extra line or drawing a line in with color. If you're doing it that way, that is the exact wrong way to do it. That's not how we want to do it. You do a natural line first, and then you add enhancements. I added the color. Now I can come back with my hair fibers, because I like hair fibers better just because it builds on top of the hair better, right? It looks more natural. Anyway, color just kind of stains the area, stains the skin, so you have to be mindful of that. Hair fiber actually builds on top of it, so it's gonna look more fuller and natural. You see that? You see after I added the hair fibers, how much fuller her hair looks. Now we can come back. All the enhancements are in place. We come back, and now this is where we want to do major detailing. We want to kill it. We want to put it, put that killer line on it. We want to be very intentional about our lineups at this point, which I am, right? So this is the system, this is consistency, this is what it gets you, you know what I mean? So she loved her haircut. Wait till you see the end, you can see how the fade sits on the lineup. I'm gonna turn her to the side and you'll be able to see, like, you know, everything comes together. It's like a masterpiece, right? You know what I mean? So look, you see, you can already kind of see how the taper is sitting. And my camera is a little crooked, so forgive me for that. But you know, this is how it's coming out. This is the look that you want to get. But that's the end of the video. Hopefully y'all picked up on the method on how to create a high taper, what to look for before you start. Hopefully I gave you a system to work with. But that's the end of the video. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend or tell a friend. You know how we do it. Until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out.